Welcome to Satsang. Who is Oma Gunachala? Can I read? If everything is preordained, is there any special effort needed to get moksha? No. Does one have a real choice to get moksha in this life or in another? No. It's just now. And if yes, what you can do more to shorten the period? You can never shorten the period, it's a postponement. Even a minute delay is a postponement. And that you did for life, it's enough. Just now. You know, you postpone for life, and then it becomes one life, then it becomes some years, and then it becomes a few months, then it becomes the time of a satsang, and it's always postponement. And then it becomes 1 minute, then it becomes a second, and then it becomes one. Moksha, liberation, is here, ever here. Only we have to remove our concepts, and that is postponement. That may take time, according to each one. What?
All the Greek masters are talking.
All the
Greek masters are saying that to be established in the self, you go through the experience of dying, the death. My question is, with your teaching, going back and forgetting what I'm not, does it lead to that point of death?
You know, each time you drop a concept, you die to it. An identification is dying.
Yeah, but it's a small time and a great time.
Yeah.
And that I'm frightened of that.
But dying, you have an image of what is dying. Dying means desidentifying. Desidentify. Do you want to try? Let's see if it is so frightening. What is your identification now? Just to show an example.
No, I'm just trying to be.
What is your identification?
The sense of I.
Okay. This is a deep belief, a deep identification of all human beings. Sense of I. So, for a while, just be this I itself, totally naked from anything else, since you say the sense of I, deep in this, totally, just for a moment. Okay?
Yeah.
Okay. Since this is your support, since you can express it, you just can remove it too, just for a while. So, you leave this in front of you and be what is left. Is it frightening?
Probably because I went through some frightening.
Yeah, but each
When
time
everything was like exploding.
that's
And
what
then nothing to, then the fear, big fear arises.
yeah, you go to past again, yeah, you went to your memory, you brought it here, and then for a second, you didn't need your memory to just see what it is. And then the slightest quarter of a second after, again you went back to your memory. This is the trouble, you know? Here, memory cannot enter.
Yeah, but I was talking about the final, when everything is dropped and never come back.
If you don't arise your birth, if you don't go back to your memory, it is done already. You just don't trust. You don't trust. You miss the chance. You don't trust. You know, you have to accept that once at least this can happen. You so much seek after this finally. It can come at any time. It will not knock your door many times to make you ready, I tell you. Okay. So be always ready. Be always ready. It will never be as you think. If you are here in this most privileged place, plus there is a satsang, living satsang, don't you think it's enough sign to show you that finally it's possible? Where can you get those circumstances? Tell me. It's quite incredible. And we are all gathered for the same purpose. So trust His grace, trust your luck. Explosions of experiences are good signs on the way, in the journey. Who told you that it will finish in big explosion, in this big bang? When surge drops, all big bangs drop. This is quite nice. And understand too, not through understanding, but you do whatever you like with this verb. That it is not an experience. And somehow there is a good explanation. It is said, and it's very satisfying explanation. It's because there is nobody there anymore. So who knows what? This is quite new. No experience. I find very good explanation too. It would be nice to find another. That's why I say, even awareness are not satisfied with this, description. How can we know what it is? Even when I said unawareness, it was just to throw away this concept, but even that, who is there to tell anything? So, just remove all concepts, that's all. And concept, when you believe very much in them, becomes experience. So remove everything. Already the deep sleep does it. In deep sleep, there is nothing. And yet, this nothingness is not it. It's a state.
Very strong convictions and strong ideas about myself, and they are what I experience indeed, as you said. It's the way I think about myself makes it an experience that I'm like that, and I don't have the feeling that I'm fully alive. These beliefs are so strong. I just want to love. But I think I just have some help. Need some help to get it.
So trust in surrendering. Surrender them. Surrender them. Even if it is difficult, you surrender this thought of difficulty. This thought of they are so strong, you just surrender, because it is not true, it's a false impression. Like that. When you just smile surprised, like that would happen. It's not difficult. Just allow it to cry. Like that. Surrender. Don't cling. Surrender. No, don't understand.
No, there's some restlessness coming up.
After this. Surrender.
Yeah, I go into this restlessness because I hope to find the energy to get rid of it.
No, it's the contrary. It's like those people who say control the vasana, then you get realized. How can you? Realize first and then this energy itself will work.
Might be easy if you cut off my hair.
It's too much effort.
You're a bad teacher.
Yes, very bad. What to do, huh? What to do? Surrender. Surrender. Where, from where, all your convictions come from. Just go back to their source. That direction is the direction of disappearance.
Don't know where to look for.
Okay, so I don't know where to
Yeah. I can't know, of course.
Huh?
I can't know, of course.
So now, try to locate this place where all your feelings arise. Where is that? Just show me. Is it arising from where? From the two? It's arising here with feelings. It arises from here.
It comes somewhere from my body.
So low. Like this here, this area. So just feel that. Just feel this area. No? It's better than the two or whatever. It's coming somewhere here. You identify with the body, so you feel it's something here. Okay? So now try to be more precise. How? You just go backward and try to be nearer your eye to feel that. Try to, I don't know, try to, what did I say?
Try to be near your eye.
Try to feel nearer you this eye who has got all these feelings. So you said somewhere here, no? So be more precise and just feel where this eye comes from. Who has got those feelings? Inside. Now you have to be a Simon. You go backward. yourself outside. You try to just go, I have a strong conviction. So now you don't put yourself outside, you just turn and say, convictions I remove. Okay. You do. Strong I remove. Feel I remove. And try to feel where is this I.
Some voice in my head.
So, we have this voice. I hear a voice. Again, it is an experience, no? So I would like that you withdraw before the experience starts, or at least that you go to the subject of the experience. Try to be naked yourself is the experiencer for some time. So whatever comes up, you don't listen, let it come, and try to be with I only.
No, just...
You can go back here.
Just don't know. Know where to go.
But you are all the time going somewhere, no? You go to voice, you go to convictions, you know very well how to go. You jump, so who is jumping? It's always I go this way, I go that way, I go this way. I would like that you feel this I, who apparently is always there. To whom all this happens? To you, no? So during this satsang, try just to have this sense of I. Try to be united to this I, which is yourself, which is your causal individuality. Try to be like a turtle, withdraw a bit. In the root of creation, which is I. It's very interesting, eh? In the root of the creation is I. Yeah? And if something comes up, you tell me again. If you feel stuck somewhere, please just express it. Because I think everyone heard the best in his life already. So I don't think it's a question of understanding now. And yet, if something is not clear, please ask. Even if I cannot help you, we can try together. Yes, you come.
I have a feeling.
You come. Yes.
I have a feeling.
I have a feeling it's a kind of striptease. You begin with the body, you are not the body. Then it goes to the mind, it's dropped. Then there is an empty space, you drop that too. The feel comes, in my case, when I have to drop all together. I mean, the stages help, because then I will vanish.
Who told you? This is also a concept. This is a concept.
But
I will vanish.
everybody says that if it's a bank, then you get burned up, and like Virupaksha, your ashes remain behind. I mean, you just, if it comes all powerful, and most of those who have had it that way, in their body it was left some defect or something. I mean, both Robert Adams and Ramana, he was shaking, and I mean, the elephant enters in and you can't accommodate it.
But the elephant is already there.
It's there.
We already live with
Yes,
it.
this is a paradox. Why the body, somehow it seems, this is why striptease, I mean, piece by piece it's dropped. No? You said also, if 100% of the vasanas leave, you can stay, your vasanas keep you. Now, maybe there is a last clinging to being alive. Maybe you have to surrender that. Why live? Why keep on living
Why
after?
not? You know, there is no difference.
There is no difference. Yeah, this is.
You live or not,
There is no difference. So what's the problem? No problem.
No problem.
On the Greek flag it's written Eleftheria ή θάνατος. It means freedom or death. Freedom or death.
Yeah, you know, it's wonderful to try to describe what is going on. Yet, it creates a lot of confusion because put into description, put into words, is just analogy. An analogy is not a fact. So, descriptions are just fingers pointing to something undescribable.
Even when you were saying go to the eye, and I did it, it's an empty space. You can't say where you have reached when you reach there. You can't talk what it is or where it is. It's just an empty space, in the empty space.
This is your experience.
Yes. So it's not true.
No. You can never, in fact it doesn't matter. If we had a trick, it would be wonderful. But even Buddha could not.
We were just talking before about being stuck somewhere. I'm stuck. I have a feeling I'm stuck in suffering. And I want to be rid of it.
Okay, but you see, a prostration is just, I give you my stuff, I give you my story, I give you my suffering. So when you get that from a prostration, you are just empty. Because it's only that, I tell you. Believe it. Believe that. Have trust in those words you say. Whatever is there, whatever hindrance is there, is just a clinging. For some reason, because of your personal story, you believed it. You made it real. But in fact, it's a personal choice. It's something you believe. So you have to meet someone who tells you, you know, it's not real. It's just you believe your story, which made it like this. And this you can drop. Just get fed up with that and see that in fact this makes you dead alive. Wish to be alive, totally alive, means without any burden. You don't need to carry any burden. You don't need. That conviction has to come.
The weight of the burden is too heavy.
Yeah.
But it's difficult to do.
Yes. But satsang also, you know, is a blessed place where this is possible. It's possible. Even this feeling of difficulty can be slowly, totally lost. And then you will see. Yes. Oh. So Oh, you get it? Don't take it back, it would not be fair. Again and again you have occasion to do it. And then it goes totally. Strong impressions, that's all. That's all. This trust has to be there, in the verse of the finger. It's only impressions, false impressions. It's nothing more than that. So if you trust this, then it's not difficult to drop. What's your name?
Yellow.
Yellow?
Gyano,
Which means something?
wisdom.
Who gave you this name?
Osho.
So what are you doing here?
Oh, thank you. Well, thank you, everybody.
Thank you.
And hello and goodbye, because I'm leaving tomorrow. Hello and goodbye, because I'm leaving tomorrow.
And you will go well again.
Amen.
What's your name?
Arthur.
You leave this reserve for now? It's not here.
Arthur. I was sitting back there going, I must be stuck. Because I'm sitting back, I'm feeling like I'm sitting back there. And I was saying, well, maybe you can tell me where I'm stuck. And then I just said, well, what's going on right here? And there's fear of exposure coming up here.
So you did it?
Yeah.
The fear is gone. The fear is left.
No, it's worse right now.
Tell me, the fear of what? Of exposure? To expose what?
There is a belief that there's somebody here to be exposed. Yeah.
Somebody is an idea, no?
Yes, it's a recurring and ever-present, it seems like idea.
So what can we do with idea?
I know what I've done with the idea for years. It just keeps coming back. I mean, I've seen that there's no I, but in the moment, there's always this recurrence of thoughts of others and myself.
Okay. You know, you saw it's an idea. Yeah. You're the glimpse.
Yes, that comes up.
Okay.
Often.
You had a glimpse once in your life, you had a glimpse. That's why you can say, I am an idea. It's a great thing to say that. No? Can you say that? You know, in fact, I am an idea.
I can say that the recurring thoughts are ideas. I don't know that there's an I. But all the time there's these thoughts coming up, and I say, oh, this is just a thought.
One thing at a time. Because you see, the glimpse you had, the trouble is that you put it into past, because the glimpse you had. The trouble is that you pushed it into past, because in the present it looks like you have again those recurrent thoughts. Okay. So now you have to understand that once you realize yourself in a glimpse, it's enough. What comes afterwards are just your old story, or the cleaning up. It has to come, it has to appear to you, you know, even if it is in the same way for some time. But don't confuse this with yourself as you did before. You know now these are false impressions, and they last differently according to each one. You cannot avoid that. But no, don't believe anymore in it. You have to value that glimpse. In the glimpse you saw, I'm not this. You don't value the glimpse. You make it an experience and that you lost it. You don't value it. Here is the trust, you see? Here is the surrender. Whatever comes up is no more in your hands. That's whatever name we can put it. It will come, it will go on, but you are not it. You know now definitively you are not it. Maybe you have the idea that once you realize yourself, you will be just blank.
What you speak is true about having the experience and seeing the Vasana, the whole Leela go on. And
Yes.
say, that's fine.
Yes.
And then sitting here in this moment, I forget.
Yes.
Um,
Don't go back to memory. Maybe this time it will not be like before. Yeah.
The experience is that if I'm talking to somebody about this, it's really clear what you're saying to me, I'm saying to them.
Yes, yeah.
Just sitting quietly in the mind
Yes.
gives itself meaning.
I will tell you something more. Very scandalous. Even if you are identified sometimes, you have experience of identification, like before, so-called. It doesn't matter. At the moment you see it, just forget and you abide in yourself. And you know, then this impression of abiding in yourself will be so strong, more and more, than all other impressions, even if they go on, they fade away. No? It's because there is some misunderstanding here. Don't think of how it can be afterwards. We have too many ideas because it's written in books and we don't understand what it means. Nothing changes. Nothing changes.
I don't think that's it. There's very little grasping that there's going to be any change at all. In the moment, I'm just involved in the ideas. And
Then just drop it. Just drop it. Doesn't matter, that's what I say. You are involved, you just be aware of it, drop it, you know? Drop it, don't make a story, extra story about it. Because I tell you, it's like sandwiching. You abide in yourself, some clinging is there, again you abide in yourself, it's sandwich, and you will feel at home. It's because you do the contrary. You cling, you abide, and then you cling. Don't do the contrary. It makes all the difference. You start from the first, as you are. Don't worry. Start from the first. Hi, madam.
Oh, now he got shy.
Krishna?
You have this?
So I had this question in my mind, like I couldn't pay attention, so that's why I'm here. This thing about to think or not to think. It's an appearance to what I am, that I'm thinking, and other times I'm not thinking.
Yes.
So it's all the same in a way.
Yes.
But I just cannot stop believing in all these ancient things, even Buddhism, that is trying not to think, is teaching not to think. And I, in the past, I've tried
Yes,
that.
you did that. What about now?
It's either thinking or not thinking. Not thinking.
Yes. So now you know that it is part of reality. Thinking, not thinking, is just swinging, no? In reality.
I never understood duality either. Because I remember in my childhood, just being, I could hear things, but without anybody reacting to it. And this has happened since. But and then other times I'm thinking. So I see two worlds. Thinking world.
That's what I said. The world of thinking is a world, and the non-thinking is also a world. Because when you experience the non-thinking, in the background you have the thinking, you compare. Otherwise, you cannot express that. You are in the realm of feeling, of comparison.
So as long as I can tell the difference, I'm still thinking.
Of course, of course. So, you are prior to this process. So just drop this belief that one of the two is it or is not.
I drop before understanding.
So keep right here. Don't know anything. Don't know what's happening prior to any knowing, prior to any state. Just abide here. Right? You don't need to understand. Be. Be without confusing with whatever covers it. That's it.
I'm not even paying attention now. It's like
It doesn't
it's
matter.
either being or paying attention.
No, be. Don't understand I say. Just be. This is being. It's something else than experiencing, knowing, feeling, understanding. Very different. So where is the non-thinking? Yes. Not even, huh? So don't understand anything. Just be. That's it. What more can you understand? You did a lot. You went to best teachings, both non-thinking and all that. It's very high quality of teaching. What more can you understand? And yet it's not it. See?
I read these books. I guess I should just read thrillers. Thrillers, or something that is no interest.
You can read the creation. This is a book, open book. Life is an open book.
Because I thought reading these books would remind me to be present.
Yeah, up to now it was perfect. Now you drop it. It brought
From
you
a
here.
library, I can drop it.
It brought you here, so time to that. At certain point you have to just drop it too, you see. Happy news? Happy news? You will not find anything more in books now.
Either teacher, so
It's not to me to say, but you will not find anything more. Nowhere. If you are not convinced, go and break your head more.
I only have one.
Hello.
Mira, I had a dream this night. All my old clothes and instrument was stolen and thief was Ramana.
That's very auspicious.
Yeah, and like that. This morning was an old memory. In 1919 I promised on Papa G to tell my Turiya experience to other people.
To tell?
The Turiya experience to other people. Up to now I have never done it.
So do it. You do it. At least you surrender to what the Master said.
And it will be difficult because I have to tell the whole story then in my own words, otherwise I get mixed up. Huh?
You are ready to be?
Yes. Amen. Okay.
Tell them
Okay, the story begins. I was 42, sitting in Amsterdam in my home. I was married with Prakati. And at some moment I felt in 1,000,000 pieces. And in 1 second it was clear I was going to die. But it's absolutely clear that moment. And the whole atmosphere in the house was changing. And I've been afraid, I think, for 1 second it was all. And then I got big from it. Because just before that moment it was looking only suffering. And just when my whole body was changing, it was something like put me totally in the here and now. and that moment I was not at any moment afraid of death. So in some case, some humor was coming up. So I asked Ganga, in the freezer there were some strawberries. Give me a few strawberries. So when I go up, I go out. I have some fruit in my stomach and say all my friends goodbye. Then when I got, after half an hour, the energy in my body was changing and changing and changing, and my mind was getting slowly and slowly, and the whole process of I and this and that and all and everything was totally vanished away. Then I was laying in the bed and I asked her, you lay in my body, then you feel me going. So she was laying on my side. And suddenly the moment was there that I had no more any control about anything. I was going away. Maybe half an hour I had been out of the body. But when I was coming, some inner eye was opening. And then some miracle was happening because I came in a space, big blue universal thing. It was amazing, peaceful. So when I entered there, I had only this feeling I will never more go back to the old feeling. After that, in the middle of this thing, I heard a child crying. And I don't know from where the voice was coming. So I've come back in my body. And the next days when I was walking on the street, I was feeling like an empty bottle, like glass. My whole body was... So was quite a hard time. Intuitive, I was knowing what was happening, but I could not express really what was going on. And 1 year, 2 years later, in 1919, I met my accident Papaji, that is accident. And I gave him a short letter where I give expression in this whole thing. And then I was amazed because that old man said to me, I have never read in my life such a beautiful letter. And I was just on the opposite, so it was amazing. Then he called me for private lesson in his room. And I was coming in, he was crying. And I was totally amazed that old man was crying. And he said, I'm so happy with you that you have understand what was happening to you. And he read my letter, and every word he was lifting up. And exactly the moment where I was in 1 second no more fearful for death, he pointed out every feeling. So I was knowing he was absolutely speaking the truth, because I was just seeing him for 3 days. He was a big old man and nothing more. At that moment we became friends. And he told me after this meeting with him, he said, I tell you, now you give expression to other people that you understand that you are not the body. I was thinking he got crazy. I was not to speak about it. But now Ramana stole my clothes. I have no more anything, old thing to hang on. With all the people and mountains.
Even that story.
To clean it up.
Yes, and you're telling it, that story also is gone.
You're right.
So,
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Great, you told the story. Now it is in our hands, no more in yours.
Okay. I want to expose myself. It's never been okay before.
You want to drink first?
Yeah, so what I realized is that I'm not stuck. And then I was feeling, well, that I'm still feeling separate from existence. You know, there's that mistrust. But also just sitting there, that sort of went. And and here we are. Yeah, in my early years with Papaji, there was at some point, I don't know how to describe it, but there was a Satguru that started to operate within me, and that was bigger than me, that I would be included in it. And I was very aware of it, I was very conscious of that. And this was the time Papaji sent me out to give satsangs. And that was there. And then that went away, or my conscious awareness of it went away. And now I don't know what's there.
This is wonderful. Then it can never go away. So now you can start again.
No, I have to start again. And I also want to say that this Sadhguru I recognize in you. When I was sitting with you the last time, I recognize that.
Whenever you like, come sit. Vibration is coming or something else? Vibration is coming or something else? I don't know.
I have never had any explosion or never any peace, nothing of experience like this important. I was always myself like this, like I am. Living in Arunachal a long time, going around the mountain with bicycle, eating one apple, eating maybe one orange.
Other life.
The fear to living in the present moment, in self-time moment, disappearing, and everything was just present, like it is. Other things I don't know. Everything is same. I have the same problem like before, or the same no problem. Everything is absolutely the same. but I have no fear. And this is incredible things to say, you know, need much courage that I never have in my life. Only this have changed. All other things are always same, and still.
So you will keep on going and eating an apple?
Everything bicycle, no explosion. Nothing special.
Even this has to go.
Thank you.
Beautiful.
Vibration still here. Yes.
What's your name?
Dina. Dina
Dina is the instrument? Vibrating instrument.
I don't know.
Yes.
I have a little confusion about it.
No, it's clear. Very clear.
It's okay. Papaji, don't talk about the Vina. Talk about another.
Which one?
This flute.
It's vibration.
It doesn't matter. The image to want to express something you have taken, I give to you. And now I have to stay with this nothing of whatever. I don't know what comes next here. I have to stay with this. This makes the vibration want to do this I have to say. Thank you.
I don't know what I'm going to say. For me, Mira, it's like if I try to figure anything out with my mind,
Yes.
it causes trouble, like the first day when I spoke.
Yes.
Because actually, if I just rest, there's two things going on simultaneously.
Yes.
There is a mind which is moving, but there is such a strong vibration of the heart that it is always there. And if I look for where that heart is, it's not here. It's not located. But yet they always are simultaneous. It is always simultaneous. It's just what am I paying attention to?
From where everything arises, this is your attention.
But it's like being pregnant. It's like I feel this always. I use the word feel, but I don't know if this is a feeling. And but they both are there all the time. And it's like
and the one who knows or feel or whatever is there,
yes.
is there all the time too.
Oh, that is always there.
So just keep with that one. Whatever pregnancy is there. That will go on even without the will. I mean, it's not in our hands. So just be yourself.
And yet, Mira, there are sensations. They are there.
Like
there's trembling, there's tears, there's joy.
Yeah, expression of something else. So that's what I say. Any expression, any pregnancy will go on, take some shape according to each one. But the attention has not to be there. The attention is to be as we are.
I thought this was a state. You know what I'm talking about. I thought this was something I had to go beyond that also, because they both go on simultaneously.
Yeah, the simultaneity are the expression of something else. Is going on is the expression of something else, and that something else you are. So just be that. Don't care much about the expression, even if they are simultaneous, you know?
And in the simultaneousness, the suffering arises when I listen to one of the two.
Yes, that's what I say. That's what I say. Don't care about expressions, that they are one after another, simultaneous. All these are expressions of something else. And that something else, you are already. It comes all from here. So just be that. And whatever is there, let it go on. It's not in your hands. It's what I say. That's a big mystery for everyone, for each one. Doesn't matter, any expression. Yours is this way, which makes you beautifully happy. Yet, be still where you are in reality. That's it.
And also, Mira, it's like whenever you say, everyone says be quiet, it is my experience that actually in the middle of all of the people, it is very, very quiet.
Being is quietness itself. Being. Be quiet somehow. Being is quietness. You can call it of silence. Those words fit a bit.
I mean, what is happening is so consuming that one isn't there.
Very nice. This is quietness itself.
So, you know, well, never mind.
No, tell, go on. It's very... No. Well, it's a good occasion.
But so, I think I'm finished.
Yeah, because there is nobody. This is quietness itself. Just be it. Know that it is reality.
And, you know, I was, like the first day that I came up here, you know, I was, I didn't accept the sandwich that you were talking about. I like this idea of the sandwich that you just mentioned. It's like, it's all inclusive, you know? There are moments of identification, there are, and it's just a sandwich, it's just how it is, never mind.
You speak beautifully. If that conviction is there, what's the trouble? No more trouble.
But speaking with you and experiencing the satsang family here, expressing their doubts and their fears and their anxieties, has been so, it's beyond words what it does for me. There's a space here to check something.
That's why it is made. No? That's why it happens.
Because it's so beautiful,
it's
all of us.
It's so beautiful. I sitting here, everyone is alright, or just need a confirmation, or just is right? It's an extraordinary
So one of a moment ago I felt to say how beautiful it is to be here with the satsang, with Papaji's family, his vast embrace, and not just an old pain of my heart, feeling formal satsang with Papaji finished. It's here. It's so here. And then when Atma spoke at the end, it was my words I heard in her heart, or my heart that I heard in her words. And this sense of Papaji's love in you, in Mira, same. There's no separation born even. And this song's in my heart all the time about the space of at a time like this when all is said and done. And the race is eternally run. At a time like this, when grace comes shining through, so what to do? All you can sing, hallelujah, hallelujah, hallelujah.
She has right.
Taking me out just over meant to be together.
Yes. So thank you for calling this invitation to this most beautiful, for being the host of this most beautiful party of Papa's party now.
Master never
Master here now, mountain now.
It's a big revolution. Every sunrise. She's a Suan Pageli. I said, we are a family Pageli. In Hindi it means divine madness, so I really think.
Yes, and you know, from Mastra, when he came from Bali, I said, what is happening with Mira? And she said, Papa's heart. He said, Papa's heart. Not amazing.
C'est comme si c'était something like last May I met Mira in Brussels, and I invited Mira here, and I feel like when you have a beautiful feast you want to share with all your friends, makes it more beautiful. Thank you.
Thank you.
When we first met, it was in silence. When Gopi was just born, and we came into the room, it was dark, and we were being quiet to Sangeeta and Gopi, and we just sat there. And you whispered, you must be Mira, and I whispered, you must be Mira. And recently, when we talked in Bali, you said my expression was through silence as we talked about my meetings with Papa Jim. In the first satsang saw you in Bali. Your face became Papa's and yours and Papa's and yours, and I could not tell any difference. And I guess I'm about to ask the same question I must always be asking, I suspect. Lately, yesterday it was strong, and this morning also, I have this experience of almost like disappearing. It's a deep quietness, and it's familiar, and somehow there's a fear in there that I'll go to sleep or be unconscious, so I bring my attention again. I feel, oh, I should be paying attention. And when I do readings, I go into the silence, but there's no fear that I'll go unconscious or go to sleep, because this is intention to allow whatever is coming into awareness in order to help the person I'm with. And it's a beautiful space, and yet there's just this point in which it was really strong yesterday, and I felt that I was aware and in this silence, so I didn't have to pay attention, and yet I knew what was going on. And this morning I was feeling it again, but this is feeling like, I think I have a deep fear of being lazy. I've used that word before, being unconscious or being asleep. So, I mean, as I say this, I suppose what's coming to me, I should just go with it and see what happens, and yet somehow I don't.
The fear to be lazy, unconscious?
Yeah, in a way. It's like if I settle...
The fear, your fear, just to let your mind disappear.
Yeah.
Take this shape, or I will be unconscious. The mind knows very well it will disappear, but then it subjects you this to keep alive. So don't listen. It's just a thought. A thought that your mind wants you to keep you with him. He wants you to keep, not to disappear. So he will suggest anything. And since this is a good point in you, of course it appears this way. Don't listen. Mind is a liar.
The first time you said that, it just rang so many bells for me.
Mind is a liar.
Yeah.
It could take any shape, especially the ones which presses your buttons.
Yeah. That's the one that presses. Oh, thank you.
What to do? I never. You see, any description you give, like awareness or something, will bring you into trouble. Because the moment you express it, you put it into time and you believe in it, and then the mess starts. That's what I say, don't make it an experience. Don't put it into time. and one puts it into time while describing what's happened. It's very simple. Yes.
This is about fear. It's really strong for me to come up and to speak. I feel much better today than I did the other day. Something did shift.
Yeah.
Really strongly. It's just my heart's beating. When I sat with Papaji, I went into a space I'd never met. Tremendous emptiness and stillness. And when I was in this space, there was nothing there. But I had to keep filling it all the time. I remember I went out and stuffed myself with food. I was so empty. And I danced between the empty space and the dream and the desire. It's like somewhere I go still and empty, and then I overlay it with desire. So I keep this dance going, and it's fear-based. And when I feel it, even the feeling isn't real. But it's if I'm empty, I have no desire, then I want to die. I'm not fearful of death, but it's like I'm the living dead. I have nothing to live for. And this really holds me back.
It's because you are empty that desires come. You see, it's just a contrary of desire. It's a state, it's an experience, this emptiness. And that thought, that of dying, it's just a thought. Nothing is real about all this stuff.
But it's still the fear, it's the mind, the doing mind, having lived in that space, it comes back to want to do something, to want to identify with being someone or something, and yet I really moved beyond that, into this emptiness.
I tell you, to move beyond that in emptiness is also an experience. You just experience the contrary of manifestation. It's just an experience. Emptiness has to be dropped too.
What is beyond the emptiness?
There is nothing beyond. I don't believe in beyondness. The beyond, the word beyond creates all the trouble. Then you go and identify yourself with the absolute, with emptiness, which is another trap. It's just another trap. That's what I prefer to words that were so very confusing. Keep quiet before where you are, before anything starts, before any experience appears. Big burden is gone.
It's really good to be here. Thank you.
The saints, they are living in this divine absolute. This is their attainment. Beautiful. Yet it's an achievement. It depends on so many ingredients. Freedom is totally something else. It has nothing to do with achievement.
This body mind has never seen Babaji, has never been in Lucknow, or Babaji's form. There was always this fear, oh, again, a new family, how can I manage to come into this family? Stupid idea, it's a stupid idea. I don't know how to express this thankfulness which is there.
You're totally in it. It's not your choice, huh?
Not at all. Not at all. Just one gift after the other. Going, the new gifts coming, going, coming, going. Wow.
I guess I just want to express my gratitude. And to existence, that it manifests you.
In that way.
Yeah. Because I wasn't there when Papaji left the body, and I still, I'm so grateful for you.
Nice thing. It's just a play. One body, another body.
And there's one question about, I carry this for many months. As long as I know you, I really, what to do with this devotional heart?
Express it? It's your way to live, no? Don't control it, just express it. It doesn't come from anybody. It took this way too.
Yes.
So you just don't interfere. It's not your devotion. It's devotion.
It's expressing itself.
Yeah.
I still need a mirror to reflect upon.
Then look.
I do.
Enough? You looked enough?
No.
This is devotion. This is devotion. Everywhere you go, whatever you look at, is that. This is devotion. Now we are everywhere. Wonderful.
Many mirrors and only one mirror.
It's contagious, huh, devotion?
Thank you.
I just felt a pull and I followed it because I feel so much surrender. And so I surrendered to the pull. And it is a very strong fire to be here. And it is amazing to see that whatever is rising, whatever, it's like the hookups, the old thing, that this old big luggage it has no chance, it has simply no chance, it's just, I see it and it's just disappearing, it's amazing. And I don't know.
No, me.
It's, I feel so free. Because freedom, yes, freedom.
And even that is too much.
Wonderful, I surrendered. Thank you.
Not the Sangha. I think we will end up, I sit there and then, I don't know, we just say. What a Sangha!
Not so bad. I've been very compelled for days, but finally made just to express my immense gratitude for your piercing eyes, your recognition, your beauty, and such a gift in your presence. And
So we can share this gratitude because
yes,
the Sangha is such
is in everyone. Yes, is everyone.
Anyone could come.
Yes, yes. As I tremble.
Amazing, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, my middle name is Grace, and I feel the amazement of that in this moment. And the grace in everyone. Thank you all so much.
Days like this we can live in just an instant.
Mm-hmm.
Very lucky. Very lucky. Gentlemen. Yeah, I can speak French and translate. Yeah?
Depuis que je suis arrivée à Dharamshala, je dirais qu'il y a eu comme une ouverture dans la facilité, la tranquillité, la joie.
So since I came to Arunachala, there is an opening, a simplicity and joy.
Et ça se maintient avec le satsang.
And it is maintained by the satsang.
J'ai beaucoup travaillé dans ma vie parce qu'il était très long.
I had a long life and I worked a lot.
Et peut-être que maintenant,
maybe now,
ce sera définitivement la tranquillité.
It will be definitively quietness. So, pour ça, enlevez le peut-être.
Ah.
So for that, you remove maybe.
Oui, je sens que les difficultés, tous les problèmes sont derrière moi.
Mais où il est le derrière? Où est avant? Où est derrière?
Il n'y a plus rien.
Où est en haut? Où est en bas? Because you said problems are behind you. So I say, which behind? Which front? Which up is front?
Le problème du temps.
Time.
C'est toujours le temps.
Problem of time. Yes, if you put a behind, si vous mettez derrière, il y a le temps. Si vous mettez peut-être, il y a le temps. If you put behind, if you put maybe, there is time. Sure.
Il n'y a plus de temps.
Il n'y a plus de temps, there is no time.
Il y a la tranquillité. La liberté.
Yes?
I don't. But I'm very happy here. And that was the thing to pull me. So I came to see your eyes and to say I'm happy. I feel sad when I look at your eyes, but that is okay. And sometimes I'm upset that you talk, that you have the voice of a child and you make it very easy. And it was always very difficult for me, and the stakes and the books and everything was very, very heavy, and the understanding. And I still feel the resistance once in a while. This is only half the truth. This is this and that. Divisions. It does not matter with you. It does also not matter here. All these It's a cloudiness, I think, the mind who is attached to that.
Yes. You know it. You know what's happening.
Yeah, I wanted to come close. I saw you from the distance, so I like to see the glory.
How much close you can go?
This we can come. Skin to skin.
How much close you can go? Here, no books will come. Books are in the waking state only, you know.
Even there, they have an influence. And that waking state is also, there is no, there is nothing.
First realize and then tell this. First you realize and then you tell this. Not the contrary. Then it's a priori knowledge stored from your learning.
Anything is possible. Have you surprised me?
Sure. Big surprise. Don't get hypnotized. Driving.
That reminds me of Papa. He said, the master is like a titan. She hypnotizes her up.
You want to like me? Very nice.
This is not that much.
Very good.
And you are not Papa.
Yeah.
I don't like that to hear. You are not Papa.
Each one has his own experience. We have to be very tolerant.
Tolerant?
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah, everything is included. Huh? If I love your experience, it means I love somebody else's experience. Why yours should be more valuable?
Somebody gets angry, somebody's intolerant. It's included.
So let's include it, sure. Now you can go.
Oh, okay.
Oops.
This thing that's been going on the past few days. Our Papa said that he'd only met 3 or 4 people who really knew who they were.
Yeah.
And what you were saying just now about the saints it being an entertainment.
Yeah. You take this, it's heavy. But then you put like, that come like this. Okay. Yes.
Is the desire to go to really finish this business? Is it I mean, like what you're saying and what Papa was telling everybody is you be as you are. It's okay. We're already here. And then this contradictory thing that you've only met 3 or 4 people that really.
Because nobody believes it. The mind loves to attain something, to be something, to achieve something. Nobody wants to listen. But it looks times are changing.
I have this thing that I don't wanna settle for anything, no matter how.
Okay. When you see the Buddha, kill the Buddha. For that reason. This is the meaning. Now be on your room. No Buddha, no Papaji's will do. Up to here, yes. Not now. And it is the same Papaji that do here. And beauty you will not see it. You are it. You see it. Because when you look sharp, you are it.
It's so strong in me to want to serve, to see the master and be a devotee.
Because you are saint. Yes. This is the behavior of the saint. You can stay like this if you like. If you want to be free, this dress is too good. practice as you like. Make up your mind about this. Yeah? Anyway, what is it? You just make your mind be clear. Let us surrender to the mystery. Laugh and keep quiet. And be gentle to all human beings, animals, plants, rocks, all beings of the universe. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Thank you.